I had a comment asking me about my standard deviation settings. So in this video, I want to explain how I use standard deviation and show you my settings so you can set it up on your chart. So first of all, you want to go to the equilibrium setting, these little four lines. You'll see it on your chart. It should be there right away, but press on that and then put it on your chart. And then you want to go to this little settings icon. And I have 0 and 1 marked in black. And then I have 2 and 2.5 marked in red. And then I have 4 standard deviations marked in green. So basically how I use standard deviation is just using the last manipulation leg of price. So as you can see, we had this last leg that swept out the liquidity, the internal liquidity, and our standard deviation projection marks out this range. You can see it. And then I look over to the left and I see, where does that range line up with? Like what areas would line up with there? So we have this liquidity up here and like this fair value gap within here. So these are the areas that I'd be targeting if, let's say, I got into a position after this change in the state. Let's just say here, if I got into this position, I would be targeting the liquidity because it's in that standard deviation range. But most of the time, I would be using it on a smaller time frame to project out the standard deviations and see where I'd be targeting, because I'm an intraday trader, not a swing trader. So it would be on the smaller time frames. And you can see we had a manipulative price. So yes, there is standard deviation from all the way up here to here, which we can chart out, which price does go to. But I would be using it on the smaller time frames. I would zoom in. And see where's our last leg. Okay, swing high to swing low. Okay, and then we get a market structure shift, a change in the state of delivery, whatever you want to call this, displacement move through this. And now let's see, where does standard deviation line up with? Well, we have this high. This high is right around 2 standard deviations. And we also have this pretty significant high. So this is where I'd be targeting. I'd see this pullback, try and take an entry somewhere in here. Stop loss would be like here. And I'm targeting around this area, one of these highs. And that would be where I'm targeting. And yeah, that's how I use standard deviation. Hopefully that made sense. Peace out.